Bonjour.
Oh, ah ben tu as changé, ça y est, t'es mieux là.
Oui,
Tu es
c'est
guéri.
un petit peu point. Oh, sorry for the delay. I went to the supermarket, which is just 2 minutes walk from my house. Took me two and a half hours to get inside.
To get inside. Good. So say Johnny.
Ah, very good. I should go and get the boccherini. Uh, no, I was going to ask you, John.
Yeah.
Is there something that you do with, say, writing or with painting or drawing or anything like that?
Good question, and I will ask you too about that. But really, by writing, yes, I do from the beginning, just to memorize. 3 or 4 weeks after, you will not remember little facts, or coming from the government, or coming from you, or coming from the people. I speak with them and I see them in the city. Little details are really important because I discovered that every 12 hours in Fécamp, weeks ago, it was changing every 12 hours. The sentiment, the feeling about the crisis.
Yeah, yeah.
And now it is a little bit like that, but not with 12 hours, but 1 day and a half. It depends on information, it depends the capacity, the people, and I myself too, and you, to adapt yourself about the compartment you have to do, the thinking, and it's incredible. It's a real revolution.
So you like keeping a journal? Is it like a daily journal that you're keeping?
It is. It is. Like, usually I do that. I have many carnets from the beginning of, from the year 70s. But probably you do the same because it seems to be very usual with the photographers to do this. Writing and photo. There is something not similar. This is the English to keep the time, to keep the events, to keep the times.
Yeah. But no, I mean that's I think a lot of photographers indeed do that. I used to do it more. I don't really do it now. I haven't done anything except diary, call Jean, in the diary. C'est tout.
There's diary on the back of your back. I see many catalogs.
No, this is prints.
Prints.
Work prints. So they're yeah, like every photographer, I've got them under my bed, in the cupboards, on the wall. No, I was looking for more. Also, do you go further with the writing? I mean, you keep a journal, which is great, but how about poetry? Do you write poetry?
No, time to time, I reconsider my diary and I write it better. Not so much, by the way, but I did it for once, for the public, for Men at Sea, a book I did.
Yeah, yeah.
I did a real diary, and it was very important. This diary was on 7 years long, because I was 4 or 5 times on the sea and aboard. I was writing, but by the fact I discovered that some of my best writing is coming from when I was ill in the boat. Really,
you could say you threw up your best writing.
Yeah, c'est vrai. It is when you are, for me anyway.
No, when you're under pressure, when you're physical or mental pressure, very often the writing is better.
Yeah, it is autopsychotherapy. But
how about music? Do you play any music? Do you play the piano, guitar?
I did by piano, but I am not really talented. I know to do, but and do you play because you like music? I know a lot.
I like music, but I don't play any music. I don't sing either. My singing is terrible. My wife can tell you that. She's got a great voice, and she was actually a professional singer. So when I'm singing in the car, I get strange looks. but that's as far as I go. If I had the talent, I would be a musician rather than a photographer. I kind of think that.
What did you want to do before? You wanted to be a photographer from the beginning?
From the time I was at university.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I had no idea. I mean, before that, I was going to be a chemist, maybe, or a physicist. But the truth is, at university, when I started to study chemistry, because I went from school to university to do chemistry.
Like Philip John Griffiths.
Yeah, no, but I realized this is really hard.
Yes.
And it's not what I want to do with my life. So I changed to becoming a psychologist, and I did a degree as a psychologist. But again, I felt there's more to life than being, a psychologist for other people, and started photography.
But it has a link with photography, psychologist. You have to understand very quickly.
People often think this. I mean, to me, the link is common sense. I think a lot of psychology is really common sense, and so is photography.
And this is so true. When I was young, I wanted to be a biologist.
Well, you see, you become almost a biologist with the Arctic work and the Pyrenees and Piedmont and the cliffs.
Mm-hmm. What is this?
The Normandy cliffs.
Ah, oui, yeah, for sure.
So you become a kind of biologist.
Yeah, or like, and I didn't do because mineralogy. It was very sad for me when I was 18, 20, 24. But now it is so impressive to see million and million of centuries. You are at the beach, you have the cliff coming like this, and the sand here, and there, this is 50 millions of century.
So,
hey. Now I had a question about you because I put it here. What did you do before, just before the crisis, in terms of photography? You was on a project
before the Corona crisis.
Before the Corona, yes. And what you will do after? What do you think to do after?
After, I'm not sure. Certainly afterwards, I wonder when there will be an after. There will be a different from now, but an after. If there's no vaccine, for example, then we continue the same way. And there's a very good chance that the vaccine will not work. So I'm not thinking too far ahead, I have to say. I've been working on trying to put some work that I've done previously in my life together in book form. Work from my archives into book form. Books that probably never get published, but just for my own sake, just to sort of make them into some kind of order about the big projects that I've really cared about.
Do you imagine how many books are in project in the head of so much photographers doing this, actually? Sort of photomaton of desert places in the cities, There is a kilos and kilos and ton of things like this.
Oh yeah, and I tell you another project that I like quite a lot, which is people who are at home. This is very English, I think, maybe. People who are at home dressing up in the style of great paintings. For example, the girl with the pearl necklace, earring, dressing up and then photographing them in their house to try and look like the painting.
You know what Thomas Dvorak do?
Well, I
because
didn't really understand what Thomas was doing. He's going onto people's websites, isn't he?
exact like we do now, he could have some trace of that. It is clever. I don't know what will be the result in terms of visual, but the thing is, one of the revolution is what we do actually together.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine this 4 years ago. It was for business or things like this, and not so easy than now.
No, no, this works really well. And I'm sure, yeah, Thomas, and there's going to be lots of other people doing internet-based projects.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it makes you wonder, obviously, with so much work being done by the media, by the public, where does Magnum fit into all this?
It is exactly what I think. When I see the production and what we do, there is the classical way, the classical angle, like what I am doing actually for days, and other things. In the same way, we can go in your garden. You are taking pictures like with you avec l'humour anglais, with humor. It could be interesting, but there is a lot of work to do to edit, to have a real clever synthetic.
Oh yeah, no, it's more a project for the curator than for the photographer.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And there is a lot of guys. They phone and they ask for some project like this. I remember one about Le Vide.
Well, National Geographic are trying to do one. The last issue of there is silence.
Non, the quiet, le calme.
Calm, silence. I don't know. I thought it was called silence. But, yeah, but yeah, there's an endless amount of projects out there, and there's going to be more because there's more continuing. And in one small speck, it's like the galaxy. In one far corner of the galaxy, there'll be a little star which has got Magnum written on it.
For sure, yeah. Yeah. Quelle ambition.
But in some far distant corner of a galaxy.
Yesterday, I was looking at a very nice book about the galaxy, and a very wide one, incredibly, and pour les two planet, nothing.
Yeah. Well, now, have you seen I've taken a photograph of a black hole.
Yes, I saw that.
With this sort of multiple telescopes, yes. Sort of all over the space. Incredible. Amazing. Here we could take a photograph of a black hole. We can't get people to organize themselves properly to get rid of a virus like COVID.
More or less, because I am sure it will be. I am absolutely not optimist usually, but I know the pressure on the people and scientists probably more quickly than what we think. We will discover the vaccination for, because they work hardly actually, more and more. I am in a relation with some of them, not in the pure research.
Yeah. No, I know there's a lot of good work going on, and sometimes I'm feeling positive, sometimes negative. I guess like all of us.
Yeah. When it is positive in the world, I think negative. But now,
I have to think positive.
Anyway, this is bistro, this is cafe discussion. but I wanted to show you something. Yesterday you told me something about black and white films, and I told you yes, my inclination, my ADN is some movie like this when I was very young, Flaherty.
Oh, Flatty, yes, I know. Man of the North, yeah.
And this, what I did on the trawler, it was because Manin Farhan, in fact, and Nanook Eskimo, Arctic, and the biggest one for me when I was 7 years old. They are this movie in French, and I have the copy in North Europe, not Sweden. But this one was done in 53, but the black and white of this movie is incredible. And speaking about nature, and
Yeah.
with
Well,
two,
53 was a time for black and white.
tell us what is on your back. Show us.
Oh, here.
Yes,
Well,
I see a Magnum one on the left.
what?
A big Magnum one. But yeah, we have too much Magnum books usually in our library. This one, what is this? Show me.
This is
Ah, but
Minamata.
wait, this is a special book. And open the book, the box.
You know, what happened was my first trip to Japan,
Yes.
I went to do a story. Eugene Smith had published his book Minamata.
Uh-huh.
You know the book.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sunday Times magazine had done 12 pages or 16 pages, something like that. And I thought this was a fantastic body of work that Gene Smith did. You know, he spent years on it. He was living with the people.
Yes.
And I wanted to go back to Minamata
Mm-hmm.
and 10 years later
Yes.
and see what has happened, you know. So, and I did a story for I think the Sunday Times again. So this is my working prints.
Yes. Nice to show. Mm. Ah, oui. Who is the child in the back?
So this is a special hospital for the victims of Minamata disease. Again, this is one of the doctors in the special hospital, the Minamata hospital.
You fais bien. It's nice to show us this because it's absolutely in relation with COVID. By the fact it is the result of mensonge, lying, what the society did, the Japanese one, and the result.
So, and this man,
Mhm.
obviously, you can see he cannot walk properly. As again, directly due to Minamata disease.
Good.
You know, and again, with so many of these industrial problems,
Who are they?
a mother and a son with mental health problems. So it had exactly the same sort of history. The silver Shizu chemical factory was being
Yes.
put into the water. It's been eaten by the fish, and it's then been eaten by the fishermen. For years and years, they knew this was going on. They denied it. Eugene Smith's work has helped to bring it out into the public. And Eugene Smith was actually crippled by being beaten up by corporate thugs, Yakuza, for the work that he was doing. So this was very important for me as a body of work that he did, and for me to get involved with working in Japan as well.
You know, when I spoke about photographe concerné, you are.
Oh.
No, in relation with your picture, I was showing this picture, you know, Minamata.
Minamata, yeah.
Fukushima. And this is the same. This same, it was the day before yesterday with a doctor, a nurse going.
Day before yesterday?
Yeah, no, not yesterday, the day before. And he was going to a guy, he is completely ill in the building.
Oh, okay, I see. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
But it is science fiction everywhere, you know.
Yes, well, it's the same outfit that they used for Fukushima problem. You know, the white outfit with the masks.
I have a lot of masks like this coming from Fukushima, but at this time I was thinking about the presence of nuclear industry 50 kilometers from here.
Yeah.
With the dominant wind coming directly here. You know the result. And it will happen. It's not this one probably, but in 5 or 6 or 7 years, it is sure, like a pandemic. and it will happen.
Oh yes, and remember Paul Fusco's work in
Really
Chernobyl.
wonderful.
Fantastic.
One of the best, he told me years ago, because I spoke with him about that.
Yeah, yeah.
We have to be concerned photographer first. This is the goal of Magnum. This is the racine, the roots of Magnum. Really, and more. If we are not, in a way, there will be some photographers like me, a lot, but we are a sort of group of collegial around this. It's so important. I am not, comment on dit, un réactionnaire ou un type sur le passé. No, I need my roots, really.
So tell me, Jean, in 5 years' time, where do you see Magnum?
I am looking for all of the gems. Je regarde tous les diamants qui peuvent arriver, mais regarde un petit peu les dossiers qu'on reçoit. Look the portfolio we receive every year. There is incredible stupid things time to time, and because we are really patient, we go in and we creuse, we dig in the enormous number of portfolio, and we know that we have to be careful to find the little diamond. I remember some of the photographers, I don't take the name now. Enfin bon, c'était par exemple Larry Towers, when he arrived, it was coming from, and some others like this. And I remember some photographer telling me, but this is not photography. C'était Jen Richard. And I am not the best photographer, probably, but I know when a photographer is good, really. I am very sensitive about that. And when I heard some stupid things about some other photographer, not in Magnum, or maybe in Magnum, I am furious. I am really furious. I have a position in terms of what is the photography inside Magnum. This is we are the emblem of something. We have not to nous calcifier. We have not to stay at this level. We have to move, to open, d'être fécond. But time to time, I am afraid, time to time, je suis complètement enthousiaste. Time to time, I'm really enthusiastic about Magnum. We saw recently 2 or 3 stories about COVID. Really nice done. Really nice done. And important for the history. Really important for the history. In 50 years, it will be really important. We are the memory. First, we are the memory. Before to be artists, we need aesthetic, we need harmony, we need what we know to do in relation with the modern art, actually. But first, we are des témoins, des documentaristes.
Right.
This term is, voilà, okay, yeah, you are right. I am.
Oh, it's good. That's a good summary. Thank you.
Well,
yeah. Anyhow, so good to talk. Thanks for everything.
Salut toi.
Hello. So here we are again. Thanks to Chris and Jean for the last conversation. This is the next lottery draw. So this photographer will ask the questions. Nice slide. Marilyn Drake. And this photographer will answer. Peter van Akmaal. Wonderful combination. See you. Bye-bye.